Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and I'm in my 1.1 test world to do a new mod update spotlight for IndustrialCraft. This is IndustrialCraft 1.65 at the moment, so one minor version change from the last version that y'all are using. Richard G asked me to do a quick video showing all the new changes and stuff that's being added in 1.65. You might be getting this version or maybe one version above if there's a couple bugs that need to be fixed. I'm helping him test it out. It's not public yet, but it will be pretty soon. There's a bunch of neat stuff added in this version. Minor changes, a couple major ones, a couple really cool things. So without further ado, let's get started checking those things out. So first off, I'm going to grab myself a backpack. And as you can see, I can grab a couple empty ones here out of my NEI inventory. I'm going to place that backpack on, and then I'm going to show you one of the new items that were added to the mod. This item right here is called the solar helmet. It's a pretty cool looking item actually, crafted with some iron, a solar panel, and some copper cables. Just place that guy on your head, and you've got a nice little solar helmet on. Look at the top of my guy's head there. That's pretty cool. And as you can see, it already started charging up that backpack for me. So it does a pretty nice job of charging things up. And then there's one other item that has been added to help charge up your backpack. I'm going to put another empty one on. And this item is called the static boots. They currently have the rubber boot appearance, but it's simply a piece of wool with some iron ingots and some copper cables. Or you can use iron boots, just like you could with the solar helmet. And these guys simply generate static electricity while you're walking. So watch what happens to the progress bar of my backpack once I start running around a bit. Oh, got a little bit of juice there. Sweet. So those are two ways to passively charge your chest plate. Now it will only charge your chest plate, it won't charge your legs, so if you get quantum legs or something, I don't think it charges that. But it's a nice way to keep your backpack charged if you want to wear a solar helmet or some static boots. Another neat addition here, if you want to check this out, I've got an electric furnace here currently not being powered. Why don't I just run some cabling right underneath the flooring here. I'm just going to knock this guy off right there. And what I'm going to do is just run some glass fiber cables right along down here. There we go. And this thing's running because it's got the transformer upgrade, but that's alright. I was already reducing the power. And it's running just fine now. And what I'm going to get next is a CF sprayer. There we go. You guys are all familiar with this CF sprayer tool. And if I just were to right click here, you can see that the CF sprayer surrounded all the fiber cables here. And you can see the fiber cable still running into the CF sprayer. So now CF foam will surround a cable and allow it to keep running. And this thing will solidify in a few minutes here. And you'll pretty much see that this is a way for you to hide your cabling from IndustrialCraft. Just use CF foam here and it'll, do its thing. Pretty cool. Speaking of this machine, why don't I knock this guy off real fast? So I just cut the power to this machine, and you'll see it's starting to run low on juice pretty quickly. You'll notice that I've got some transformer upgrades in here already. One of the new changes that was added in is the ability to use Lapitron crystals or energy crystals in most of your machines based on the current upgrade version. So if you've had placed one transformer upgrade in here, you can use a regular energy crystal, but with two transformer upgrades, you can go ahead and use your Lapitron crystal. So that's pretty darn cool. But notice that as soon as I took the upgrades out, it's no longer able to power the machine. You need to have two upgrades in there for Lapitron crystals to work. Next up, there's been a change to your interface blocks. Let me get myself a real quick item here. I'm going to grab a bat box. There we go. And I'm going to hook this guy up right over here, running right off of this thing, my LV transformer. And place down an empty bat box. There we go. So we've got this neat little redstone icon up here. And if I click it, you'll see that there's now a redstone behavior called emit if full. And if you click it again, you get emit if partially filled. Or emit if empty. Do not output energy. And do not output energy unless full. These are now the 5 modes that redstone can have effect on any energy storage devices, like bat boxes, or MFEs, or anything else. So for example, right now it's set to nothing, so redstone won't do anything to this machine. Okay? If I were to click this button again, it says emit a redstone signal if it's full. So let's fill this guy up real fast. There we go. Now watch my redstone energy line. Ta-da! As soon as this thing filled up, redstone energy turned on. So we're emitting a redstone signal when the bat box is full. Pretty cool. Next up, let's check the next level of power here, emit if partially filled. So right now I've emptied it out again. And if I just put a little bit of energy in there, you'll see it's going to emit that redstone energy. However, if I were to take a battery and drain all the energy out of it, it'll stop emitting a redstone signal once it no longer has power. Cool. Next I can do emit if empty. So now it's empty and I'm emitting a redstone signal, and if I connect power up to it temporarily, you'll see it quickly stopped emitting because it has a little bit of energy in there. Again, we put a rechargeable battery in and it'll start emitting once it's out of power. And finally, the do not output energy is pretty similar to the method that you guys are familiar with in the past. The way these machines worked in the past, or at least in the version everybody else is using, is if there's a redstone signal being applied to it, like so, it would not emit energy along a wire. So let me get up a quick machine here to demo that. So real quick, I just placed a lever on here, and keep in mind that when the lever is facing down, it's emitting a redstone signal. This machine is currently set up to not emit energy if it's receiving a redstone signal. Notice that the energy is not dipping, and if I go look at my electric furnace here, you see it started cooking up some of this cobble, but it stopped as soon as I applied a redstone signal. Turn off the redstone signal, and the machine starts running again. This guy's allowed to output power. But if I apply the redstone signal again, it stops outputting power and it stops receiving it over here. So if you apply a redstone signal with that setting called never, then it'll never emit energy. So right now, let's fill it up real quick again. Alright, so I've gone ahead and filled up the energy in the bat box, and it's still not emitting a current. That's because it's currently set up to never emit based on the redstone signal being applied. In older versions of IndustrialCraft, it would only emit power if the bat box was full. And that is a new setting now. If I click on this, do not output energy unless full. So right now, it's outputting energy because it's full. And it's going to maintain its full setup. But if I knock this cable off, as soon as it runs a little bit low on power, it's going to stop emitting energy until it's full again. So basically, you can use this as a little bit of a buffer. And finally, the last setting, of course, is nothing. Redstone has no effect on this box at all. Pretty darn cool. I like all of those settings. And one of the last major changes here is regarding BuildCraft gates. Most machines now have a BuildCraft gate ability that can be put on here. So let's look at a couple of them. First, I'm going to look at my bat box here. This is an energy storage device like an MFE and an MFSU, and they all have the same kind of setup, I believe. We can look in here, and one of the options, aside from the standard stuff, is capacitor empty. So right now, the capacitor is not empty. So it's not a true condition. But we also have capacitor has energy. That is a true condition because it has some amount of energy in it. We've also got space for energy. Nope, there's no room for energy in this box. It's totally full. So that is not a true condition. And capacitor full obviously is true. Charging empty item, not true at the moment, but I guess if I put a battery in there, it should work. Nope, it's not charging an empty item, at least not yet, because the item wasn't empty anymore. But if I were to change this to charging partially charged item, that's a true conditional. I didn't get to the gate in time, but just keep in mind that when the item was empty for that brief moment, that conditional was true. And it's false again because the thing is full. Let's see, we've also got charging fully charged item. So if I have a fully charged crystal or battery up top there, that conditional is true. We've also got discharging empty item. So if I were to have an item down here that was empty, this conditional would be true. Or discharging partially charged or discharging fully charged item. So basically it's saying, is there something down here that's either fully, partially, or totally empty? That's pretty awesome. So those are the different things available in the BuildCraft 3.x gate system. That's when you hook it up to a bat box. When you hook it up to an engine or an item like an electric furnace here or a macerator or any one of the other machines that use energy, you can see we've got a slightly different situation. Capacitor empty, which is that little middle thing, and that is true at the moment. The capacitor is empty. But if I were to go ahead and hook it up with my glass fiber cables right here, there we go, and maybe I'll even knock this thing off real fast. There we go. The capacitor is no longer empty, so that's the case there. We can also detect when the capacitor has energy or when there's space for energy. As you can see, if we knock this off, this guy currently has space available for energy. There's no energy, it's not full. Or capacitor full, as you can see there. There we go, capacitor full. Discharging empty item, partially charged and fully charged are also here, in case you want to have it so that it's detecting this thing down here has a battery in it. So, you know, we could detect something like that. And then you've also got machine on and machine off. So right now the machine is on, but it just turned off because it ran out of power. And now the machine is off. But if we were to hook power back up again, the machine is not off anymore. So those are the machine conditionals that are available with BuildCraft 3.x gates. Finally, I'm over here at a generator, or a geothermal generator. Pretty intelligent, this guy, Richard G. He was prepared with this kind of stuff. Let's see what we've got here. Capacitor empty. That is the truth. There is no energy in the capacitor at the moment, but if I put some coal in there, there you go. You can see that the capacitor is no longer empty. It has energy. That's true. Space for energy is also true, but once it fills up all the way here, that space for energy will be false. And here we go. There we go. It just flipped off. Capacitor full. There you go. That's true now. And then we've got the charging empty item, partially charged and fully charged items as well. We can also detect when the machine is on. It's currently not on as a result of it having energy. But if we were to, let's say, get a bat box here. There we go. Well, I guess the machine conditionals is not working right, but I'll give him a bug report. Has fuel and no fuel. See, right now there's no fuel in the generator. But if I were to put some coal in there, let's say a stack of it, the no fuel is no longer true. It has fuel. Pretty darn cool. And this guy right over here, real quick, is pretty similar, being the geothermal generator, but note that it has the tank settings, so space for liquid, tank full, that kind of stuff. So you can detect when the geothermal tank inside that stores lava has enough fuel in there. Let's give that a test real quick. Alright, so I'm going to set up a quick conditional here on this diamond AND gate, which is connected to a bunch of lava in a tank here. And I'm going to say here that when the tank, there's space for liquid in the tank, go ahead and emit a red pipe signal. You can see the red pipe signal is on, and this is a valve pipe here. Where's my BuildCraft wrench? I do need to whack this guy. And tell him that pretty much to emit a redstone signal when you're receiving a red pipe signal. And now lava is going to flow in here. And this guy is going to start filling up with a whole bunch of lava. And I'll be back in a moment once this is full. Alright, looks like we're almost there. This guy should be done filling up with lava in a moment. You can see it just turned off the whole system because it detected that there's no more space for liquid. We don't have any more room in there, and the gate signal turned off. So pretty awesome. I'm really excited about using BuildCraft logic gates in combination with all these machines. It's going to be pretty darn cool to see how well everything works out. So that's most of the changes available in IndustrialCraft 1.65. There might be a couple other things added between now and the time it goes live, but I think those will mostly be bug fixes. So for now, this is Direwolf20 signing off. It should hopefully be public pretty soon. There are a bunch of other bug fixes in this version. Just to let you guys know, there's a lot of fixes and a lot of other tweaks and small changes, but this covered most of the big ones. So this is Direwolf20 signing off on IndustrialCraft 1.65. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take it easy.